Rashad and Gosling. I'm like Corleone when I'm mobbing. Let the beat drop in. I'm Floyd Mayweather if I'm boxing. I'm Los Angeles cause I'm dodging. Is it too shocking? I'm microphone rocking. I'm microphone rocky. I hear the tiger and y'all can't stop me. You're looking like a donkey, waking up groggy. Your whole flow is soggy. I'm Mr. Miyagi. I'ma make the bottles pop, Donald Trump talk. And I'ma party till I drop, take my trunks off. And I'ma make the bottles pop, Donald Trump talk. And I'ma Donald Trump walk. 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 And I'ma so sick, yo, it must be the voodoo. Fresh shampoo, redo your new hairdo. Black new brews, cold brews, that's the dead truth. What would Twitter say? Hashtag getting bread, dude. Getting bread, dude. It's ridiculous. And I'ma count stacks without witnesses. And I'ma make it rain millions. Then I woke up, ordered 2 Sicilians. Lot of smoke foggy, looking like a zombie. I do it nonchalantly and bounce like a jockey. Your posse wanna copy to meet me in the lobby or meet me in the street with a beat and get body. Lot of smoke foggy, looking like a zombie. I do it nonchalantly and bounce like a jockey. Your posse wanna copy to meet me in the lobby or meet me in the street with a beat and get body. I'ma make the bottles pop, Donald Trump talk. And I'ma party till I drop, take my trunks off. And I'ma make the bottles pop, Donald Trump talk. And I'ma Donald Trump walk. 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 And I'ma we taking this over. We gonna take it to the top, it's the jump off. We gonna make the bottle drop, Donald Trump talk.
Welcome, everyone, to God Emperor Trump Live. I am your host, Tom Pappert. Tonight is the Thursday night call-in show. Thank you to Con for lining up our callers. There's already a couple people in the queue, but please join the Discord server if you would like to call in. I'm hoping to talk to lots of folks tonight about the Democrat Clown Show. Tonight, we're going to be showing some of the highlights from that lovely clown show. You had Elizabeth Warren. Some people think she won. Some people think Tulsi Gabbard won. Some people think Julian Castro won. And who the hell is Tim Ryan? I watched that whole damn thing last night. After I got up, I watched the second hour. Then I rewatched the first hour because I missed it. I still have no idea who Tim Ryan is. Can anybody, for the love of God, explain to me who this man is and what he did to get on that stage? Who did he have to sacrifice to Moloch? So we're going to talk about the debate. I've got some of the best clips and a couple clips from 2016. We're going to compare and contrast. A couple headlines to shoot out. Another NYPD officer has taken his own life, even as de Blasio is bragging about running America's largest police force. That's what he said during last night's debate. Big bragging rights. America's largest police suicide factory, perhaps. The fake news media was on call, misrepresenting and physically intimidating pro-Trump people at last night's rally. They did a massive no communism, no socialism sign, and they had a permit, and they had private property, and NPC, their people, NBC's people, they came out and they tried to make these people move. They tried to intimidate them. They tried to scare them. They at one point physically blocked the entrance to where they were holding their protest. What is the matter with these people? And it was a woman. They were intimidating a woman. It's very misogynist of them. Let's see, the Democrat debate. The key question last night was, should government pay for trans women's abortion? And Julian Castro, who is being called the winner of last night's debate by some, well, he says yes. Trans women have penises. FYI. There's an article in InfoWars, mystery, pimple vanishes from Tulsi Gabbard's face mid-debate. Did NBC, purposely put a zit on the presidential candidate's chin to make her look less attractive? She's the only one who brings some sex appeal to the whole event. I could see that being the case. And also de Blasio, he apologized for quoting Che Guevara, saying, "Hasta la victoria siempre." See, I can do it too, leftists. I can do it too, Democrat presidential candidates. Yo hablo español. But if you're not aware, that is Che Guevara. That is the man who executed gays, murdered blacks, burned books. He called black people stupid. He was an unrepentant, sociopathic, homicidal madman who was the right hand of Fidel Castro. And that is who the New York mayor, the Democrat presidential candidate, is quoting. He did apologize for it, but he also quoted him back in 2013. So did he not know in 2013? I don't know. Let's see. So these are the big headlines. We got to get through these real quick. Then we're going to show some clips, and I want to start bringing in callers really, really soon. So please hop on the Discord server if you would like to call in. We're going to be taking your calls probably in the next 10 minutes here as we run through some of this. I do want to play some of the clips from last night. So I understand that a lot of people who are watching me, they obviously didn't do what I did and then subject themselves to utter and complete comedy or misery, depending on how much alcohol you have in your system last night. So we're going to watch some of the big clips that the memes came from. So this is big, though. This is sad. The fourth NYPD officer in 3 weeks has committed suicide as de Blasio brags about running America's largest police force. Articles up at bigleaguepolitics.com. This was a 24-year-old veteran who took his own life. And de Blasio oversees the largest police force in the country. To him, this is bragging rights. It proves that he understands race relations. And four of them. They just keep doing it. It's just fascinating what's happening with this. And de Blasio, for his part, de Blasio, he's such an insane person. Let's watch this clip. This was right after the debate last night. Mayor de Blasio apologizes after quoting Che Guevara in Miami. Hasta la victoria siempre. Let's watch.
No! Do you get your fair share? No! Then something's wrong here in Miami. Yeah! Something's wrong in Miami. Because we should be putting working people first. Yeah! And here at this airport, they're not putting working people first. At this airport, they want you to make them money, and they don't want to give you their fair share. Let me tell you, Yulin, it's not going to work for you. Because the eyes of the world are on this airport. The eyes of the world are on Miami-Dade. And we are not going to let these workers down. No. We're going to stand up and fight for every one of you. Yes. Because in Miami-Dade, we need to do something that we have to do all over this country. We have to put working people first.
Hasta la victoria siempre. Onwards to victory always, or always toward victory. I think it's directly translated as go to victory always. So that is this guy. You know, he didn't get any Spanish in on the debate stage, which perhaps was a tactical error. It seems to be the big thing to speak Spanish in the debate. And we're going to show a little clip of that here. Here are the Spanish moments from the Democratic debate with translations provided by the Washington Compost, Jeff Bezos.
Not every person will be able to comment on every topic.
Necesitamos incluir cada persona en el éxito de esta economía. Pero si queremos hacer eso, necesitamos incluir cada persona en nuestra democracia. Cada votante necesitamos la representación y cada voz necesitamos escuchar.
La situación ahora es inaceptable. Este presidente ha atacado, ha demonizado los inmigrantes. Es inaceptable y voy a cambiar este.
Congresista O'Rourke, ¿qué haría usted en el primer día, si usted es presidente, sobre esta realidad que está ocurriendo? What would you do, Congressman, day one at the White House?
Vamos a tratar cada persona con el respeto y dignidad que merecen como humanos.
What is the matter with these people, you may be asking? Why do they all feel the need to pander? And why does their accent suck worse than mine? But, you know, they were not. Everybody's acting like this is the big first time Spanish has ever been spoken at one of these debates, when in fact Ted Cruz, Lion Ted, back when he was Lion Ted, he was the first one to speak Spanish at a presidential debate, from my knowledge, because he did it back in 2016. Marco Rubio accused him of not knowing how to speak Spanish while criticizing him for speaking Spanish and doing Spanish language interviews on Univision and elsewhere. And so, which, by the way, this is so self-defeating. 2016 was such a laugh fest. You listen to some of these lines, because I was doing research, and it's like, oh my God, they were all so funny. So watch this exchange, and why is Ted not getting his credit for this? Ted made history.
Very quickly.
Well, first of all, I don't know how he knows what I said on Univision because he doesn't speak Spanish. And second of all, the other point that I would make...
Marco, si quieres, díselo ahora mismo, díselo ahora. En español, si quieres.
This is a distinction.
Now, that ladies and gentlemen, is a good accent. I think Ted is more like a native speaker than any of those Democrats. I mean, Ted is Hispanic. He's Cuban. Cuban by way of Canada. So Ted Cruz is an actual, probably learned this in his household growing up. He's got a good accent. He's got a good accent. Way better than the Irishman, Robert Francis Pedo O'Rourke, way better. And of course, how can we forget Marco Rubio saying that his grandfather taught him about the American dream in Espanol.
Ronald Reagan, he would be very proud of the fact that we're here this evening. My grandfather instilled in me the belief that I was blessed to live in the one society in all of human history where even I, the son of a bartender and a maid, could aspire to have anything and be anything that I was willing to work hard to achieve. But he taught me that in Spanish, because it was the language he was most comfortable in. And he became a conservative, even though he got his news in Spanish. And so I do give interviews in Spanish, and here's why. Because I believe that free enterprise and limited government is the best way to help people who are trying to achieve upward mobility. And if they get their news in Spanish,
we're going to bring in all the illegals, and we're going to speak Spanish to them so they'll become conservatives. God, Marco Rubio is a loser. And who can forget Jeb Bush, with an exclamation point, doing entire commercials in Spanish back in 2016.
Los Estados Unidos de América es un gran país, gracias a las personas que vienen de todas partes del mundo, contribuyendo a nuestra economía y comunidad. Nuestras culturas tienen mucho en común. Para mí, la cultura hispana es muy importante y positiva.
And what's funny is, look, they bring in his troll wife. She's speaking English. And by the way, she's about to say that she's been here in the United States, Los Estados Unidos, for half of her life, and this is how good she speaks the language. Ladies and gentlemen, if I lived in Mexico for 2 years, I would speak Spanish like I was born there. What is with these people? They come to this country and they just barely learn the language. They just barely squeak by. She's lived here half of her life, she says, and just listen to her butcher the English language like I am right now.
More than have my life here. So, I agree that we all have the same interests, the same feelings.
Nuestros valores son muy parecidos. Me siento orgulloso de que mis hijos y nietos son hispanos.
I wonder what the subtitles are on this. I don't speak it well enough to understand what he's saying, honestly. How do I isn't there a way to make the subtitles work in English? Click the little cog for English. Subtitles in, English. I want the subtitles in English. Translate that bitch.
We go to church every Sunday. We have celebrations.
Yes, translate the troll. That's what I need you to do, because I cannot understand what this vile woman is saying.
Faith, friends, and
so this whole pandering to Hispanics thing, it's not just a Democrat trend, I guess is what I'm saying. And Ted Cruz, I mean, if you're going to pander to the Spanish-speaking Hispanic community, of which there are probably 22 million illegals represented in this country, at least do it like Ted Cruz did. I mean, that was spontaneous. It was random. It was in response to little Marco suggesting that he doesn't speak Spanish when his father probably speaks Spanish. En español, si quiere. That was actually pretty good. So Ted Cruz won last night's debate because the one trick that 3 different candidates used, Ted Cruz was doing it 3 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago probably. So good for you, Lion Ted. What else happened last night? Oh yeah, you think I have bad technical issues here on God Emperor Trump Live. Man, that made me feel good about myself.
If we're going to go with guns,
I would wager probably $100 million goes into these debates. By the time you pay for all the camera crew, by the time you get the setup, by the time you bring everybody in, you get the light. I mean, it's probably $100,000 that goes into each one of these debates. And nobody did a test run with the microphones?
Senator Warren, I want to start with you. We are less than 50 miles from Parkland, Florida, where 17 people were killed in a school shooting last year, and where there has been significant activism on gun violence ever since. Many of you are calling for a restoration of an assault weapons ban, but even if implemented, there will still be hundreds of millions of guns in this country. Should there be a role for the federal government?
Their other mics are on.
Everybody's mics are on. I think we have I heard that too. That's okay. I think we had a little mic issue in the back.
Control room, we've got contrary
We have I think
audio.
we heard, we have the audience audio. All right. So the question is simply this. I apologize you guys didn't get to hear this, the first part of the question. Obviously, we're not far from Parkland, Florida. Gun activism has become a big part of high school life up there in Broward County. Many of you are calling for tighter gun restrictions. Some of you are calling for the restoration of the assault weapons ban. But even if it's put in place, there's still going to be perhaps hundreds of millions of guns still on the streets. Is there a role for the federal government in order to get these guns off the streets?
What's happening?
We are hearing our colleagues' audio. If the control room could turn off the mics. Yeah, if the control room could turn off the mics of our previous moderators, we will.
I think it's the prior moderators.
You know, we prepared for everything.
Guess what, guys?
We did not prepare for this.
We are going to take a quick break. We're going to get this technical situation fixed. We will be right back.
Absolutely. You know, that's the whole Democrat Party right there. Utterly incompetent lunatics. And President Trump had some fun with this on Twitter. He retweeted a Carpe Donktum video. Let me pull that up real quick. I accidentally closed it. Trump. And, wow, this is what, when you put Trump on Twitter, his name doesn't even come up anymore. That's amazing. All right, there we go. He retweeted a Carpe Donktum video about this. And, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm going to risk. I'm going to show you this video at great risk to my Facebook page because they could easily not demonetize, this copyright strike me for this. But President posted it, so I'm going to do it.
Warren, I want to start with you. We are less than 50 miles from Parkland, Florida, where 17 people were killed in a school shooting.
What's happening?
We are going to take a quick break. We're going to get this technical situation.
What's happening?
We are hearing our colleagues' audio. If the control room could turn off the mics. If the control room could turn off the mics of our previous moderators.
You know, we prepared for everything.
Guess what, guys? We are going to take a quick break. We're going to get this technical situation fixed. We will be right back.
Top Keck. President Trump
Senator
having
Warren.
fun as always. Carpe Donktum made that. He was banned from Twitter a while ago. You remember that, right? You remember he was banned from Twitter? So let's see. We've got a caller on the line already. Looks like we've got two folks on. We've got Meme Ninja, frequent fan of the show. We're going to bring him on second. And we've got Lucchese. Lucchese, we'll unmute you. And we'll go ahead and give you the proper permission. Remember, folks, join the Discord server. And we will get you on the call-in show. Lucchese, welcome to the show. So did you watch the debate last night, my friend?
How you doing, man? No, I did not watch the debate last night. I did watch it today, however. Yeah, I'm doing school now over the summer, and not summer school, though. I'm taking classes, so no, I did not have time to watch it last night.
So what was your take on the debate? Was it every bit of a clown show that you expected it to be? You had the black guy, Corey, talking about slavery. We're going to give abortions to trans women. That would be men who have penises who put a dress on and say they're a woman. Was it every bit as comedic as you hoped?
Well, for someone who already took the clown pill, nothing really fascinates me anymore, to be honest. So, yes, I was expecting that. What did catch me by surprise is, I'll be honest, and I had a bit of a laugh, was Mr. de Blasio, his quick comments on his black son, and I think was kind of a what do you call it, a little pander moment to throw a little bone at all the black voters. Say, see, I'm cool. I'm one of you. You know, I have a black son. You know, I'm not racist or anything.
I mean, really, if you think about it, you know, everybody's done the I have a black friend thing. I don't know if I have a black son has ever been tried before. I mean, you think here's a cynical take. I think de Blasio adopted that black kid, which God bless him for that. But I think he literally did it to further his political career.
It's a paid actor. He just pays to keep him around all day.
in the African American community and police brutality and all of this because he runs the largest gang in the world. He runs the New York Police Department, where 4 officers have taken their own life in the last week or two. I mean, does that give him credibility? What did you think of de Blasio in general? I thought he was rather disappointing.
Well, here's the thing. I'm like I said, I'm taking a class over the summer, fire school right now. But what I want to do after I finish college is I want to work in the NYPD. So it's something that hits very close to home. You know, when you have 4 cops kill themselves in this short span of time. The thing is, New York City cops absolutely hate this guy. They hate him with a burning passion to the point of turning their backs on this dude at a funeral of one of their friends because, you know, he continues to pander to the Black Lives Matter movement while, I believe this was back in 2016, a radical black Muslim Black Lives Matter supporter went out in I think this was Brooklyn, and he shot 2 New York City police officers in their car, and this was at the funeral, and he completely just turns his back on, they turn their back on him when he's giving his little eulogy at the funeral. So it's really something to consider. He runs it, but he doesn't run it well. You know, the salary is horrible. The pay is disgusting. You know, what these guys do, the stuff that they have to do with on an everyday basis is just not, it's horrible. It's one of the worst places to be a cop in America. So that's not something he should be proud of at all.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, I like what Gavin McInnes says. It's not fuck the police, it's fuck the police's boss.
Brass. Yeah, yeah. He said, I watch his Get Off My Lawn show, and he says exactly, you know, the bottom guys, you know, the foot soldiers, they're with us. It's the top brass that tell them, you know, to stand down or to do, unpopular things, or just do, you know, whatever they tell. Because to be honest, the top brass, they're all politicians. You know, you're saluting a politician at the end of the day. So, you know, you can't really win either way.
Well, and you're not wrong that it's got to be one of the worst city, if not the worst cities, the worst city of all time to be a police officer. And I mean, the level of hate you guys or those guys get, you soon to be, the level of violence that they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I take it you're from New York. So did this get better or worse under de Blasio's regime?
Oh, no, I'm actually not from New York. I'm from outside, right below New York in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But no, I just fell in love with the city when I went there a while back.
And so, I mean, you're nearby. Yeah. So what is the mood of de Blasio? Because you're like what? You're like 90 minutes away by train, I think, right? So what is the mood in the city regarding the America's mayor? Oh, that was Rudy Giuliani, because nobody likes de Blasio, from my understanding. What is the mood?
Honestly, man, I have no idea. I don't go to New York that often. I wish I could tell you, but I don't. I could tell you I am friends with a few cops in New York, and they just don't like them at all. I'm pretty sure he's very unpopular between New Yorkers.
I have no doubt about that. So, okay, so here's the burning question. I think if anybody won last night, it was probably Tulsi, because she's the only...
100%.
Okay, so that's my question. So, yeah. I mean, she called out the war hawks. She said that America needs to stop sending its men and women to die overseas. She essentially called them out and said that it's ruining families, it's ruining the country, it's bringing us further into debt. And we saw virtually every other Democrat on the stage defend globalist empire building and nation building abroad. What did he make of that in exchange?
Well, man, that's actually the first topic I want to talk to you about. Because I think what Tulsi did was absolutely brilliant. You know, she managed to pull that kind of emotional tie, saying, you know, I served overseas, blah, blah, blah. I saw, you know, my friends get shot and killed and this and that. So she really, I think she pulled a lot of emotion with that, and it was really effective. But what I would say is, I think and this what really makes me sad, because if you go back to 2015, 2016, this was exactly what Trump ran on. You know, this no more foreign wars, no more endless Middle Eastern wars. And now we're seeing this tension with Iran right now. And we saw that Trump's cabinet is full of, people like Mike Pompeo, Bolton, all these kind of war hawks. He actually had to fire Mattis because he was being too much of a war hawk and he wanted to stay in the Middle East. Trump said that he would be taking away troops, which hasn't really done so far. So I think it's really, for me, as someone who supported Trump all throughout 2016, it's really kind of pissing me off how this female progressive Democrat from Hawaii is making more sense than a guy who literally ran on this, this alternative, middle finger to the system kind of guy who really isn't following up on what he said regarding foreign war. So what's your opinion on that?
Well, I think he has done or adhered to what he said in that there are no new wars. Part of the problem is you pull troops out of these places, and from my understanding, some have been brought home from Afghanistan. But part of the problem is if you pull them out, once they're there, then you get into an Iraq in 2000 under Obama's presidency type situation where you have a power vacuum because, look, you topple a dictator and you try to put in a democratic government with a bunch of 70 IQ people who have been screwing their cousin and marrying their cousin for 1,000 years. It doesn't end well. And so I think the part of the problem is, how do you get out of that type of situation? The other thing is we've seen Trump repeatedly, he could have invaded Syria. A lot of people wanted him to. There were those reports, which turned out to be bogus, put out by Mike Cernovich and others, that said there was a 50,000-man invasion of Syria planned, and it was going to be executed, and instead it was 52 missiles on an airfield in a war-torn civil war country where there was no government, essentially. Assad controlled very little territory at that point. ISIS had more of Syria than he did, and it was a very limited engagement that was aimed at destroying their ability to allegedly, I don't believe it actually happened, attack their own people with chemical strikes. You look at Iran, and virtually everybody expected him to go to war, and President Trump actually went against the advice of John Bolton and many other people in his cabinet and said, no, we're not going to war. I'm not going to kill 150 people because they killed my fancy robot. They broke my toy. So no, we're not doing this. And then there was the unconfirmed but very, very likely report put out that President Trump, speaking to a confidant, said, these people want war. It's sick. The last thing we need is another war. So I think that in terms of not declaring future wars, it's been rather nice to see President Trump walk away from that. And you look at what he's done in North Korea, where nobody's talking about war anymore. Now we're talking about, are we going to get a deal? Which is a big, big difference than where we were at the end of the Obama administration. And especially compare this to Clinton, the other Republicans in 2016. Every other candidate who could have won realistically in 2016 wanted to do day one, as soon as they got into office, a no-fly zone over Syria, which would have almost 100% created a war. But I'm interested because I want to, share your thoughts, because there's a lot of people out there who are upset that Trump hasn't done more. So please share your thoughts.
I'm sorry, regarding Middle Eastern wars, regarding
well, where do you think? I mean, where President Trump is at on this? Because I think he's done he has a fairly good track record. We could have 2 new wars right now if we had another Republican or a Democrat in office. I think that would almost be guaranteed that we would be in Iraq and we would be in Syria. Definitely Syria. Sorry, Iran, not Iraq. We would be in Iran and we would be in Syria. That would be 100% confirmed under any other presidency. And I think, Obama was very worried about North Korea, and North Korea would be a devastating war. We would be talking Vietnam or World War II or even Korea back in the 50s level of casualties.
I don't think so, man. I don't think it would go that far. And I also don't think that's, somebody not royally screwing up is merit. I don't think, oh, well, hey, at least it didn't start 10 different wars, so you could say that it did something good. No, you just didn't screw up. I'm not going to congratulate you on not starting a new war. You just didn't screw up. That's what I expect you to do, and I don't think that's something that should be hung around as some sort of merit. I think maybe if Trump actually pulled out of Syria, maybe worked closer with Bashar al-Assad, someone who I pretty much do support, I think he's doing a pretty good job in keeping the situation pretty, under wraps in his country. And if you are talking about what we should do in Iran from an interventionism standpoint, the best solution was probably to put back the royal family that got kicked out back in, I believe, like the 50s, because everything was working, and then they decided to bring them out by a coup, and basically it was just downhill from there. So if you wanted to fix Iran, you'd put them back in, but that's a whole nother tangent. My thing is, I just take the troops out. This is not our fight, man. I don't care about a civil war going on halfway across the world. I really don't. And I think if Trump wants to win back my complete support and guarantee that I will, in fact, vote for him in 2020, all the troops in Syria got to be home. No exceptions, man.
Okay, but I have to put, I understand where you're coming from. I would like to see that too. The libertarian in me says we shouldn't have military bases all over the globe. We shouldn't have boats in China's sea. We shouldn't be doing any of this. We should tell Japan to go defend itself. We should tell everybody to go. Why do we still have troops in Germany? I agree with you philosophically on all these things, but the issue is, again, President Obama put you can say it was a good thing, but really it created ISIS. One of the things he did was he pulled troops out of Iraq. And the problem with that was Bush had toppled a stable government. You take out this stable government, and then what happens is a bunch of warlords take power. The craziest warlord, who is beheading Christians with box cutters and drowning them in giant steel cages and essentially doing atrocities that we call Nazis. We say Nazis do these atrocities. Well, that was happening in the Middle East 2 years ago. And so then they take power. So if you abandon, and again, I don't know the way out of this. You have to try to create some stability. And so if he pulls out of Afghanistan, which I would like to see happen, without the region getting stabilized, and President Trump has repeatedly said we're getting closer to that reality, but if you pull out without it being stabilized, there's nothing to stop another ISIS from getting in there. And of course, ISIS-inspired terrorists are shooting up our nightclubs and running people over in New York and shooting cops in Dallas, Texas. This is what they do. And in Germany, and part of the problem is the refugee Muslim crisis there, where they're running over people. In France, they're running over people. In the UK, they're running over people. So,
well, let me just stop you right there, because these people, for example, let's take the Pulse nightclub shooter. He even if he was a member of ISIS, he got radicalized while he was living in America, I believe.
But he was radicalized because ISIS seemed powerful. ISIS seemed like it was going to take over the world.
Well, sure, but anyone could get radicalized over the internet. Are we gonna ban what they see on the internet now? Because there's really no way of preventing that. Like Dylan Roof, the guy who shot up that church, yeah, he got radicalized on the internet. Same way Pulse nightclub shooter got radicalized. It's not.
I think it's a little bit different. Dylan Roof was radicalized by neo-Nazi forums, which are going to exist no matter what. If ISIS didn't have geographical territory spanning across two different countries and another country further down in Africa that was pledging its allegiance to him, what was that guy's name? The guy we were all trying to kill a few years ago. If it wasn't for all of this, ISIS would have had no propaganda. And if they didn't have the ability to completely take over Iraq and then move into an already destabilized Syria, they would have had no geographical territory. They would have had no propaganda machine. They wouldn't have had those disgusting Toyota trucks that they were using in all their videos. I think that is the key to it. And again, I'm not saying to destabilize these countries. That's how we got into this in the first place. Obama killed Gaddafi in Libya with Hillary Clinton's guidance, and that is a big part of what started the North African refugee crisis, where Gaddafi said numerous times, if you take me out, the floodgates will open and they will overrun Europe. And that's exactly what happened in the wake of his death. Also in Libya, you've now got open air slavery. I'm not defending any of that. I would have much rather had Gaddafi and then his crazy sons rule for the next 1,000 years over what's happened right now. But once it's done, how do you get out of that? And you say in a perfect world, you bring back the Iranian monarchy. And yeah, in a perfect world. The question is, again, I don't know what the pragmatic solution is to this, to get the troops out of there without allowing another ISIS to come about, because these people, they all believe this. The Muslim who is a moderate, he won't say in public that he wants to kill you, but the Muslim who is a radical will go and take over all of Iraq and half of Syria and call themselves the new Islamic State in Syria and the Levant. And they, that's their shtick. That's what they do. So I don't, what do you think the real, I mean, do you just pull the troops out and let that happen? And if it happens, you deal with it when it pops up?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, how much of a threat does ISIS pose to us right now, or any of these terrorist groups in Iraq?
Well, now they don't pose us any threat. We've destroyed them.
I suppose, but even let's say if there was a fortified ISIS, if we hadn't taken them all out, right? What threat would they pose, being in the Middle East, to us right now?
Well, and again, I mean, that's my issue. Isn't that they're in the Middle East? If the caliphate wasn't built on bent on world domination, and if they weren't putting out manifestos online in their giant propaganda facilities saying to get a truck and run over people at a shopping mall and do all the crazy stuff that they were doing, and they're disseminating it in the United States and in Europe and in Australia, all around the globe, they're saying to do this. I'm coming back to, if they didn't look so powerful, if they didn't look so strong, if Obama had done what Trump did and wiped the floor with them in 12 months, then we wouldn't have had this issue. But if we're just going to leave them alone in the Middle East, that their ideology is not like ours, where we say we have.
If you're talking about Europe terrorism, I don't have the exact number right now, but I believe a crushing majority of that is because of refugees that come in and commit these terroristic acts. So if you want to stop that, then you stop accepting refugees. It's that simple. I mean, you cut it off at this. You don't go all the way to, let's refute their ideology.
No, there is no refuting their ideology. And the problem is these people are already here. Like you just said with the Pulse shooter, they're already here. So I guess I don't have a lot of faith in the people of Iraq and Syria and Iran to do their own thing in an intelligent fashion. I guess that's what I'm coming back to, that these are, let's face it, they are low IQ populations where they have been inbreeding for probably 100 or 200 generations at this point. They are bent on, Islam is communism plus religion. They want to take over the entire globe and unite us under Allah. And so I just don't think that there is, if you pull the troops out before some type of stability comes in, maybe we do bring a dictator into Afghanistan, or you bring in a president who is going to become a dictator a la Putin, and you just kind of say, yeah, that's all right. Maybe that would be the way to do it.
A la Assad, you mean?
No. I mean, I'm talking in, because Putin he's been in power for 20 years. He's essentially the dictator of, and yeah, Assad would be fine. In fact, I've got an article on screen right now that says Donald Trump's gift to Bashar al-Assad, saying that the Golan Heights it united people behind Syria and gave him some popular support. And the other problem with Syria, I mean, I would like to see more happening in terms of friendly relations between Russia and the United States, but Syria is essentially a puppet state of Russia, which is fine. We've got enough puppet states, but it's just very difficult to work with another nation's puppet state. But this is actually a fascinating conversation, and I wish we could keep it going. Please call back, because really, it's a fascinating conversation. I've just got a hard stop tonight to go report on the second hour of this debate, but I want to give you the final word on this.
All right, no, well, that's basically it, man. We started talking about Tulsi and Trump. Do you think, just to end this off, do you think Tulsi would be a good? Is there any Democrat that you like? Because I know there's a few guys on the right who went totally, Yang Gang and Neat Bucks crazy and are totally in that kind of line. Do you like any of the Democrats that are running this year?
That's a great question. I'm going to go ahead and get our next caller ready, but thank you for it. That's a great question. I think Tulsi, if the Democrats had any intelligence whatsoever, they would put her as their candidate, because she could realistically pose a severe threat to Donald Trump. She wants to end all the wars. She wants to stop this globalist takeover of the world, American empire, as Ben Shapiro calls it. And the only bad parts about her is I think she wants some give. libs, and she wants to murder babies at home. So she wants to stop murdering babies abroad, and she wants to start murdering babies right here in the United States of America. And so that's the worst part about Tulsi. But there's a lot of Americans who want to murder babies here in the United States. But the thing is, they won't take her seriously. And she's not an establishment favorite, and she will never win. It's going to be Biden. I don't like Andrew Yang. In fact, I'm being told from a source that Yang is falling flat right on his face. He sounds like an idiot. He's very boring in person. The exact quote was something along the lines of, wow, Yang is, yeah, there it is. Wow, Yang is way more compelling online. So this is probably going to be the death of the Yang campaign. But I did follow him on Twitter, and I did retweet him because I want that bag too. He's offering, if you go on Twitter and you follow him and retweet one of his tweets, he will give you $1,000 a month for the rest of the year, for the next year. And so, yeah, I want to secure the bag. Obviously, it would destroy the economy unless you also used it to get rid of all welfare, and he's a piece of shit. But, I mean, no, I don't like any other Democrats. I don't like Tulsi. I appreciate her power as a candidate and what she stands for. And I appreciate that she is trying to bring a new voice to the Democrat Party. That is basically what I think about Tulsi. I'm not endorsing her. I don't like her. I think that if the Democrats were smart, they would put her up and they would make her the candidate. She would be the one to beat. But the media, the establishment, the superdelegates, they want Biden, and they want to create the illusion of choice. They're going to pretend it's between Biden and pedo and the gay guy, Buttigieg, and Warren. And our next caller is actually wanting to talk about Elizabeth Warren, how they set up last night's rally to basically make Warren look like the victor, no matter what. And it's very true. And I actually stayed tuned last night, stayed tuned on NPC, if you will. I stayed tuned and I watched some of the late night shows, and they're all saying that Warren was so tough. And I think it was, not Fallon, but the guy on after Fallon, that low energy individual. It's late night. You're supposed to have a little bit of enthusiasm, a little fire in your belly. And the guy who comes on after Fallon actually said that it was something along the lines of, wow, when Warren said that, she was like the Southern matriarch who stands up at the dinner table and says, I have made my decision. That was epic. And it was so forced. And our next caller is right. They're absolutely trying to set up Warren as the winner last night. She won, according to the media. It is Sedian. We're going to bring him on right now. Welcome to... still not working. What did I do wrong? Sedian. I think he is muted on his own end. Sadian, unmute your mic, sir, and you should be able to speak.
Hey.
There he is. Welcome. How do I say your name?
It's Sidian.
Sidian. Gotcha, Sidian. So you want to talk about how Elizabeth Warren was basically set up to be the winner last night. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, but give me your perspective on this.
Yeah, so basically, so to start off, to preface, in 2016, I was a former Bernie bro who was an idiot, and Trump won me over. A Trump-trained former Democrat who voted for Trump in 2016 and is completely on board now. But I still have a lot of friends who vote Democrat. So me and a buddy were talking about this last night, and I was like, they really kept all the heavyweights on night two. You've got Yang, who has all the online support. You have Sleepy Joe. You've got Bernie Sanders. Really, last night, all they had was a bunch of people who no one cared about and Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong about that. And the reason is they're all polling at like 1%. I mean, Warren is starting to kind of break through. That's why she was at the center of that stage. But you're not wrong. I mean, I actually... And, I do this for a living, and at one point I texted my buddy and I said, which white guy just said that? They're all wearing the same suit and the same tie. It was either de Blasio, Ryan, or that other. I can't get them all straight anymore. I don't know which is which. I literally sounded like a leftist, and he sends back, yeah, all the white guys are interchangeable. I don't know which one said it either. And then you've got Warren wearing her Hillary Clinton purple. She's on screen right now with their little screw up at the debate. And there she is in the center, right there in the center. And they absolutely did set her up to be the winner. And then the media has really framed her as the winner. I mean, I think that this adds credence to my theory that they're trying to create the illusion of choice. So the establishment has obviously already picked Biden. They've got him leading by like 20 points in the polls with crazy Bernie behind him. Bernie, I think, probably has the most popular support, but that doesn't mean anything in the Democrat Party. We learned that in 2016. They changed the superdelegates, but not really. They didn't actually lose much power. And so the establishment has picked Biden, but they learned in 2016, as it sounds like you were burnt, and welcome to the, thank you for joining Sanity. Thank you for taking the red pill. I do appreciate that, and I'm glad that you were won over. We're going to have to talk about that before we let you go. But they want to create the illusion of choice. So now they're going to say, as I said a moment ago, they're going to pretend that there is, well, it could either be Biden, or maybe it's going to be Beto, or maybe it's going to be the gay guy, or, ooh, it could even be Warren. We could have the first Native American president. Wouldn't that be something? It's the illusion of choice. What do you think about that? Am I right? Are they creating the illusion of choice here?
No, I agree 100%. I think you're spot on. And I think why they did that last night and kept all the heavyweights for tonight is they really wanted some primetime TV. They knew nobody was going to give a shit about, Wednesday. Who's going to watch anything on a Wednesday? So you just frame Elizabeth Warren as the winner. You don't really give anyone else a chance, and you just shove all the people who no one cares about on it.
Yeah. And I mean, I still have no idea who Tim Ryan is. Maybe he used to be a something somewhere. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, what do you make of the other candidates? I mean, obviously they're framing Warren as the favorite of last night, but I think that's de Blasio. I have no idea who that is. I think that's Julian Castro. Man, Julian Castro is shorter than Paul guy, Rand Paul. Then you've got not Castro, Cory Booker, the token on stage. Then there's Beto O'Rourke, who I don't know if anybody noticed earlier, but when he was speaking Spanish, he even did the hands thing. You've got Klobuchar, which I thought I was making fun of her name. Apparently that's how you say it. You've got Tulsi. Tulsi looks hot. Tulsi's attractive. Let's bring her on screen. And then you've got another white guy, and I think that white guy on the right is Tim. I don't even know who they are. I don't know who they look like. So, I mean, aside from Warren, because they obviously set it up so she could win last night because the illusion of choice. Do you think any Democrat actually distinguished themselves during the debate last night?
I really think Tulsi tried hard. I really do. From what I was able to watch of it, she was trying to get some stuff in, but they really just kept trying to cut her. And you can tell that if you go back and watch it. They really just did not want her speaking. And they really set everything up with the would you replace everything with the Medicare for All system? Because Elizabeth Warren just raised her hand instantly, and that's exactly what everybody over there wants. Everybody on the left is wanting Medicare for All.
She was like partying that she got asked that question. She's like, "Oh boy, I got the question. Finally, I know what to say." I mean, it was very creepy. I mean, they're trying to make her seem relatable, and they've got her drinking beer. I mean, I will say she knows how to drink beer better than a gay guy who he's on tonight. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Tulsi, I mean, let's bring that back up on screen if I've still got it. I might have lost it. Her Google Analytics went off the chart. The majority of people last night were Googling, who is Tulsi Gabbard? What does she believe? Yeah, here it is. Google Analytics suggests a surprising winner of the first Democrat debate. Let's pull that up on Twitter. This is the most searched Democrat candidate during the Miami debate, and you can see in virtually the entire country, except for a handful of states that were searching Cory Booker and Oklahoma, a lot of Native Americans down in Oklahoma. I don't know if people know that. Many Native Americans in Oklahoma. Oklahoma was searching for Elizabeth Warren, which that could explain a lot. But yeah, I think I agree with you, and our last caller agreed with you as well. Tulsi did everything she could to distinguish herself. I think if anybody has a chance of doing what Bernie could have done in 2016 and lead an insurgent candidacy, it might be Tulsi, and I kind of wish her luck on that because she would be a severe threat to Trump if she were taken seriously, and she's not being taken seriously yet. And I think President Trump is best as a counterpuncher and best when he's got a strong opposition. But all right, let's I got to wrap up shortly, but I do want to ask you, what about President Trump won you over and how in 2016? Because you were a Bernie bro.
Correct. So a lot of what won me over, right, is I was primarily a single issue voter. My minor is in Japanese, so TPP was a big deal to me.
So you're a weeb
Bernie
too. Sorry, go ahead.
And Bernie was anti-TPP, as was Trump. The only person who wasn't was Hillary.
Right.
So I mean, when Hillary was given the Democratic push, I stepped back and I kind of looked again, and I was like, for everything that I'm supporting, Trump's for as far right as he is still pretty moderate. And in all honesty, I'm pretty moderate. And as a former moderate Democrat, he says a lot of things I agree with, and I agree with him on immigration, and I agreed with him on trade deals. We've been getting reamed.
Right. No, you're absolutely correct on that. And I've got up a viral meme. It was quoted on attention.com, which is hilarious because I made this meme. I've never been a Bernie supporter, and it's Bernie Sanders supporters are reacting to his Clinton endorsement with these memes, and they put up my meme, which is funny, and it's Bernie looking like he's about to pass out on the day when he endorsed Hillary Clinton, and it says, when you realize you sold out millions of young people who supported you, because of course there was a big push in the Republican Party, courtesy of Roger Stone. Roger Stone is the one who said we could win over a lot of disaffected Bernie people, and I think he was completely right about that. And you're right, President Trump, 15 years ago he would have been called a moderate, and it's only now that the left is going literally Stalin that he seems like he's even far right at all. He's center right 20 years ago, which is not a bad place to be. And it's a kind of appalling that we're supporting this guy, and he's such a libertarian president in many ways, and really he's just a moderate. So what do you make? Obviously you're still with Trump or you wouldn't be watching this show. What do you make of Bernie Sanders' 2020 candidacy after he sold out to Hillary Clinton in 2016?
I really think they're going to try to push him as the second choice, quote unquote, kind of agreeing with you there. But there's no way they're going to give him the electorate. They don't respect him. He has no backbone. He's shown that multiple times, like in 2016 when he let him take away his mic, when Black Lives Matter did that.
Right. God, that was a meme. And Bernie, I only disagree with you that I don't think they're even going to let him have the second place. I want to pull this up and then we'll go to the next caller, but it's going to take me forever to find now that I think of it. Bernie had tweeted something a few days ago that was something to the effect of, the establishment clearly hates me. I am the anti-establishment candidate. This is more clear now than ever. Let me see if I can just find that. Oh my God, he's tweeting in Spanish. El Congreso asignó fondos. God, they're all doing it. It's just a trend, and they're all ripping off Ted Cruz. Poor lion Ted, he doesn't get any respect. No respect. Let me just try one more time to find this. I'm not going to be able to. It must have been a week or so ago that he tweeted it. And he said, I am the anti-establishment candidate. But he's been courting the establishment all day and all night for 3 years now, trying to make it so he could run again in 2020 and get enough favor with the party leaders that he would be able to ride that and still get the popular support. So you say you got a lot of Democrat friends still. Are they all Bernie boys, Bernie bros, or are they going for someone else this time around?
All right, so one of them is pretty far left, like basically an Antifa type. He actually wants Trump to win, and his thought process behind that is it will keep the Democrats mad until they get a real candidate in 2024.
Wow. I've heard Michelle's going to run in 2024, so that would be good news for your friend, because then they've got someone with balls running in 2024. We'll just put it that way.
Besides that, the party, like the younger voters, seem split. Some of them just think Biden should be the candidate because he's the most recognizable, and the others are still firmly Bernie camp. But I've had more friends go Trump, in the past 4 years than really I would have ever thought, to be honest. So,
wow. Well, that is encouraging. So, thank you for calling in. I think that that's actually a valuable insight from someone who used to support the burn victim and now has seen the light. So I want to give you the final moment here. Obviously we're all missing it tonight, and I don't think we're missing much. But who do you think is going to win the debate tonight, and why is it Biden?
I firmly agree with you that it's going to be Biden, and I believe that's because of the media. The media is going to be running this show, and come tomorrow, it's going to be all Biden and Sanders. I think they're going to bury Yang. I don't think they want the bag. And besides that, hopefully be a regular caller. Hopefully you keep these going. I really enjoyed this. And thanks for the news, my man.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on, and maybe we can all secure that bag just by retweeting him, folks. Can you retweet my retweet, guys? That way I have a greater chance of securing the bag. I really want to secure the bag. So that was Sidian, and thank you, Sidian, for coming on the broadcast tonight. We got about 5 minutes left. I just kind of want to go to the chat, but also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I do these live call-in shows, I do something very, very bad and very, very dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. I have not plugged all night long. If I don't plug, I go broke and there's no more show. So please, 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 if you have the extra funds, drop me $1 or $2 on paypal.me/Tom Pappert. Paypal.me/Tom Pappert is the best way to do it. Donations go directly to me, and we're going to take advantage of PayPal as long as we've got it. I fully expect by this time next year they have stripped me of PayPal. You can also go, of course, if you want something in exchange for your shekels, go to memesforamerica.com and pick up the I Like Beer Kavanaugh tea. I drink beer. I still drink beer. I like beer. That's only $19.99. We've got a bunch of other options for only $14.99, like This Machine Preserves Liberty. Come and find them. Expand Ice. It's okay to smirk. It's okay to be white. We depend on your purchases and your donations to exist here. And I really, guys, I need you. I need your support, and it means the world to me, and I love that you guys enjoy the product enough to do that. So thank you all for your support. Remember, it's paypal.me/Tom Pappert. These links are in the pinned comment of this broadcast, and let's go check the comments for the last couple minutes of the show. God wants you to feed the cat. She was here during the calls, and then I didn't pick her up, so she left. Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. She's gone. God wants you to feed the cat. God wants you to secure the bag. All these shits need to be doing their debate up there on a helicopter. I agree completely. Someone call in and name the nose. No. Racist. Racist. Trump was a Democrat before. Very true, but he was also in New York. Roger Stone did nothing wrong. So true. I think I'm picking up a signal from someone's baby monitor. Are you watching the debate? Google election meddling. I'm not supporting Tulsi, but it's clear she's anti-globalist regardless of if she's liberal. I don't know if she's anti-globalist, but she's definitely a new voice in the Democrat Party. If a Dem gets in, shit's going to go down. They are unified. They are a unified wall of Marxism, gun-grabbing, anti-Bill of Rights totalitarians. So true. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Oh, no. I'm not getting tricked, you bastard. Oof. Almost got me there. All you bigots in the chat. Let's see. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cap it off here, but please, I didn't plug it all, and these two debates happening right as my show starts has hurt me this week, quite bad, as to the technical issues last week. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to upload this on YouTube as soon as this broadcast is over, so we're going to start building up the watch hours so we can eventually go live to YouTube and Facebook, and maybe D-Live all at the same time. We're going to be doing that in the build-up to another huge announcement that's happening probably next quarter, hopefully, where I will be on a brand new platform. Ooh, hopefully that comes through. We'll see. But one more time, please, folks, I depend on your support. I need your support. PayPal.me/Tom Pappert. PayPal.me/Tom Pappert. memesforamerica.com. Thank you so much for your support. It is immensely needed. One more scroll through the comments. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez looks like Ezma off the Emperor's New Groove. That's funny. 2%. No, you racist. Tom, I'll go wherever you are, my love. Well, I appreciate you too, and I appreciate that you play RuneScape. YouTube presence finally. Yeah, we're working on it. I love the Proud Boys. Read it, Tom. I too love the Proud Boys. I honestly think I would have been stabbed and murdered on the streets of Denver last year if not for the Proud Boys. I have very little doubt in my mind that they saved my life. So yeah, Proud Boys are good people regardless of the media's lies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would really like to keep this going, but I told the guys over at Big League Politics that I would cover the second hour of the debate. And for those of you who are bigoted against the working man's beer, this is how I'm going to get through the second hour of the debate. Hopefully it does not show through on my writing at Big League Politics. So one more time, please support PayPal.me/Tom Pappert, memesforamerica.com. Since I'm cutting this so short tonight, see that? Okay, so before I cut this short, Jesse says, join the Wichita Proud Boys. I cannot do that. I am a friend of the Proud Boys. I am an ally of the Proud Boys. I will write articles about them. I will be very nice to them. Thank you for your racist donation, V for Vendetta, PayPal.me/Tom Pappert. You got a racist number from V for Vendetta. Very much appreciated. But wish you were my uncle so we could troll libs. How old do you think I am? But no, I cannot join the Proud Boys because if you are a known member of the Proud Boys, you get taken off social media. So as much as I would really like to do that, I have to look out for Millie. I have a kitty to look out for. You see? Little kitty. Yeah. And I have to feed the cat. And to do that, I have to say, please go to paypal.me/Tom Pappert and donate, or memesforamerica.com and make a purchase, buy the merch. And I can't do that if I'm banned now, can I, little kitty? Can I? I don't know how many Proud Boys that I know who have been banned from social media for no reason. No reason given. Their account just terminated. And the only reason provided, or that anybody can postulate, is that they are associated with the Proud Boys, who were falsely, it was falsely claimed that the FBI said the Proud Boys is considered a terrorist group. The FBI later did a press conference where they said, no, never happened, fake news. But still, they're going with that. They're going with it. And it's totally fake news. We've talked about the stuff going on in Oregon briefly. We should do that again, though. We should talk about that more. Feed that cat with racist number of cat food. So important. Watching Democrats calls for straight bourbon. Actually, I've got some sour mash in the other room, so that's going to be happening. Let's see. Yep, I've lost 4 accounts on Facebook. Yeah, I mean, you cannot be I've told the local guys that. I said, look, I can't join, but I'm a friend. I'll drink beer with you. If you got a speaking shit you want me to talk at, I'll go and talk for free. To Wichita. If you're outside of Wichita, just pay for my hotel room and we'll call it good. But yeah, I just cannot do that. I support the organization. It's a good organization, but I am not a Proud Boy, and I've never been a Proud Boy. Hear that, NBC? Hear that, Jared Holt? Sorry. Now I'm missing comments. Right as I was capping it off, a bunch of people comment. Oof. I take Canadian money. Send Canadian monies. I'll take, I take shekels, I take marks, I take francs, I take yen, I take pounds, I don't know, everything but Venezuela money, basically. And probably not Zimbabwe money either. So no, I'll take your Canadian dollars. I don't know what you have in Canada. Are they just dollars? And man, we didn't even get to this, but this is absolutely intense article. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. So a little preview of what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Vladimir Putin says liberalism has become obsolete in a fascinating interview with the Financial Times. So a little preview of tomorrow's episode. We're going to be talking about this in length. But all right, guys, I got to cap it off. I got to go. No more marks, my man. Those don't exist anymore. Not Venezuelan bolivars. No Venezuelan bolivars. I would, but any currency PayPal will do. I'll take it, and I'll eat it. Just send me the Canadian money, and I'll eat the. They're called loony dollars. I'll eat the transfer amount. Thank you to. Do we have a nickname for you? I guess Meme Ninja. I'm sorry we missed you tonight, man. I got a ping knowing that you got. Really, they charge you money just to send it. That's nuts, Carl. Well, if you would like to send a physical donation, it's 200 North Broadway, Suite 320, Wichita, Kansas, 67211. That's the office address. If you try to shoot me there, I'll shoot back. Wow, they actually charge you. Also, yeah, some people donate using Facebook Messenger. So, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I did not know it cost me money. It cost me $3. I mean, that's bizarre. I did not know that. All right, folks. They're all ready to go, by the way. They will be soon. Thank you for your purchase, somebody. Right as soon as I quit. That's what happens when when I plug at the very end of the show. I've got to watch this thing. I told the guys at Big League that I would cover it, and I'm missing on. Thank you to Joseph. That's a hilarious last name, but I will not repeat it. Joseph bought the No Sympathy Lindsey Graham tee and the Make Frog Straight Again hat with a curved visor. Amazing options from, amazing purchases from Joseph. Thank you, Joseph, for your donation, sir. All right, guys, I gotta go. Bye-bye. I'm Tom Pappert. This has been God Emperor Trump Live. First YouTube video in a while. Hope you guys are enjoying it. If anybody actually watches it on there, guys, you should just watch it. Just go over to YouTube. I'm going to upload it right after this is done. Go to YouTube, hit play, and just put it on mute, run it in the background. I need the watch hours. I got to get like something like 30 or something watch hours a month. I used to get that. I used to post meme videos to YouTube, but Facebook doesn't allow me to upload meme videos anymore. So therefore, there is no incentive for me to make YouTube videos. So it's just a total fucking clusterfuck. And I need your help. I need your donations. I need your likes. I need your purchases. I need your shares. And I need you to go and put up my YouTube videos and just watch them all so I can get watch time. I hate this fucking globalist cabal. All right, God Wants You to Wear a Hat, followed by Make America Great Again by about a mile. And, yes, Bambi. And, well, I upload comments, too. I can't do that, unfortunately. Yeah, thank you so much, Ian. Your donations have been amazing. All right, guys. Bye-bye. God Wants You to Wear a Hat, Make America Great Again. This is not a Hitler salute. Jesus Christ, Tom. Watch what you're doing with your fucking meaty palms. See you guys tomorrow night. God Emperor Trump Live. Tom Pappert. Tomorrow night is the extended broadcast, at least 2 hours right here on God Emperor Trump Live. I will be drinking a bunch of these and swilling some other shit. So see you then. Thanks for watching. Why does it always freeze? I need to like uninstall and reinstall OBS.
God wants you to wear a hat. God wants you to wear a hat. God wants you to wear a hat. If you don't want to piss off God, remember that. You wear your hat. You wear your hat. You wear your hat. Why aren't you wearing a hat? You wear your hat. You wear your hat. You ain't a real religion if you ain't got a hat. You wear your hat. You wear your hat. How dare you be outside without a hat? Lightning, 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 lightning. Lightning, 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 lightning. Lightning, 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 lightning. You don't want to piss off God, remember that. God wants you to wear a hat. God wants you to wear a hat. God wants you to wear a hat. If you don't want to piss off God, remember that.
If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under.
I've been dreaming about a different place with one God, no religion, no war, no race. Just a bunch of people looking different but loving the same. With one heart, one soul, trying to make the world a better state. Let's get it back to the way that it was when we said a simple prayer saying your will be done, amen. Happy to have a hot meal in a warm bed. Now everyone wants to be God instead of trusting. Let's make America great again. America great again. Bow our hearts and lift our hands to the only one who can make America great again. Together we will stand. One nation under God. Make America great again. We really think we get very far with horoscopes instead of Bibles telling us who we are. Let's get down on our knees and take it back to the start when our country was blessed because a great God set us apart. And you may not like it, but that dollar that you spend even bows down to the God you should be putting your faith in. But we often serve this title made of paper instead. We should thank God for every day, every dime, every breath. Let's make America great again.